Well, Luke is scampering off because he hates us. He just quit.
Mhm.
As you can see, he's packing up his things now and he's leaving. It's a damn shame. He, of course, is the most experienced of all of us. Has some of the best hot takes. But he's leaving, in his words, to not be around such smelly people. And I don't know what he meant by that. But I guess we're here today. Luke will be around again in 5 minutes. I'm just joking around. It's press start. It's press start. And Luke will be back here soon. Good news is we've saved some of the best stuff for a little bit later in the show, as we normally do. But Cammy, how are you doing this lovely day? How about you? How you feeling?
I'm very, very tired, but I'm okay. What
Oh,
about you?
good. I feel tremendous, apart from my voice not sounding good. I feel fucking
Apart from the
awesome.
voice.
But
Good.
we've got some fun news to talk about today. Starting with a state of play that I was honestly expecting a little bit more from. But not quite. It's a lot of third-party games. It's only
It was
third-party
like,
games.
yeah, it's 15 minutes, just a quick little state of play.
It's you know what? It's all new stuff. It's all. I mean, of course, but anytime Five Nights at Freddy's is in it, I tend to be a pretty happy boy, a happy little eighth grader, a little middle school boy. But what's some of the stuff we were seeing, Miss Huddlestone? What's first on that list?
First was Death Burst. Do you want to say I couldn't care less about?
Neither could I. It's another battle royale thingy.
Yeah, we don't care.
I just don't
Then it
care.
was We Are OFK, which reminded me a lot of like Life is Strange and those sort of games, which Jacob is a big fan
Oh, you
of.
know me, I love them. But hey, actually, we'll talk about it later in the show.
Yeah, we'll get to that later,
I
but
ran into a game in that style that I enjoyed recently. We'll talk about that soon. Oh, the hack fraud
it's
returns
oh, here he is. Come
just in
to
time.
They
insult us
called to say
again.
they're on their way, so they're not even
Jesus
here yet.
Christ.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But I'm here. So
There
is
you go.
Locke.
And he brought Lachlan. Well, Luke, tell us about that
Right.
lock that you have to unlock to get snacks and bug snacks, because there's more bug snacks coming.
Yeah, this was a little surprising to me because, like, I didn't think that was like a particularly awesome game. So I was surprised that they're spending time working on like free DLC. Uh, it's just odd. Like, I would think that they would just move on to the next project that could make them money. But my guess is they got a big check from PlayStation because it was like one of the OG PS5 launch titles.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I
Some
never
people
played it.
Some people really dug it, from what I understand.
It's
Really
one of these
bug it.
things.
Bug
I
it.
tried I tried to play it. I got like half an hour into it and didn't really care, but I love watching other people play it. It's weird.
It's one of those games. It's like kind of like
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Wait a minute. See what I did there? That wasn't even on purpose, but people do like watching Five Nights at Freddy's
was
and thinking
good.
and playing it.
Mm.
But Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. It looks like shit, but on the bright side, all those games look like shit, but somehow they're still a little bit fun. But, you know, I'm always for some more Five Nights at Freddy's. Always for more MatPat theories, some more Markiplier Let's Plays.
But is this done by? It's not done by Scott Cawthon, is it? It's done by a separate team.
This is done. Yeah, this is done by Steel Wool, I think they're called. We'll see. It's a new thing. It's something that, again, if I was 13, I would have loved. I would have adored it. So stay tuned for that. But hey, I've been taken ill because this next game looks sick.
Sounds like you're on death's door.
It does a little bit. It's getting worse. The smoothie was supposed to help. I'm gonna mute myself for 1 second. You guys take this
hack it up.
when just hack the fuck up. Hold on.
Oh God.
Then he forgets to mute it.
Before we continue, I just want to talk about Lachlan's incredible dancing that he's been doing.
Oh yeah, he's very into
Oh, the
interpretive dance.
Yeah.
Why isn't my
Beautiful.
camera focusing? It's having so much trouble recently.
It's focusing on Lachlan. Right over
Oh.
it is, Luke.
Where it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Death's Door. I haven't played it. I've heard great things about it, so it's cool to see it's coming to Switch or to
Switch and PlayStation.
PS4 and PS5 and Switch, but it's coming out for those.
Looks pretty
Kart
cute.
Rider Drift.
We
This
don't
is
care
a
about
game. Yeah, it's
No.
a game. It's a kart racer, as you would guess. That's free to play, and it's coming next year. King of Fighters
You don't care.
is coming in February.
I just
Cool.
got the Death's
First
Door
Class
joke.
Trouble.
I just wanted to say that. I just got it.
Yeah.
I'm
after
glad you
coffee.
caught up. That's good. That's good.
Anyways, go on.
The First
First
Class
Class
Trouble,
Trouble.
which is like a 3D Among Us PlayStation Plus game. It's good because it'll be free. I don't know.
Yeah.
Among Us is one of those games, like, I think the only reason it was really successful was because it was free on mobile. That's what helped it take off. It was on Steam for $5, but being on mobile is what really solidified its success. But beside the point, Star Ocean, The Divine Force. Do either of you know anything about this?
Square Enix.
Nope.
That's all it is.
Square Enix.
Square
Yeah.
Enix doing Square Enix things.
Yeah,
Yep.
they have. I mean, they keep making games like that, so obviously they have fans that will pay money for it. I don't know who they are, but
Hey man, some people like bullshit. I don't know what to tell you. I'm kidding. I love Square Enix.
the one like diehard fan who's looking forward to Star Ocean: The Divine Force is like watching. Oh,
We're about to get a book written in the comments section.
yeah, we're gonna get letters. And Little Devil Inside. Cammy, explain this.
I think you're asking me to explain it because my notes were give it to me now.
Yes.
Yes. It's
Yes.
it just looks so good and adorable. Have either of you two seen it?
Yeah, it looks good. I wasn't that pumped up, but it
Let me
struck a
look
chord
up.
with you. I thought it looked it looked
Yeah.
good.
I thought it looked fun. It seemed like wholesome, good stuff.
Good fun,
Like
wholesome stuff.
good, fun, wholesome stuff. You're a guy, you go on journeys, look like you try and help a lot of people. Sometimes people are good, sometimes people aren't good. You have a sword, there were monsters. It was, I cannot talk about how pretty it looked. It looked so pretty, and I know little more than that, but it's, yeah.
But I don't need to know more than that because it looks
I don't
good.
need to. It looks
Yeah.
good.
No, I agree. I think it looks really good. I like these stylized types of games. Like you can have great graphics, but with no art style or direction behind it, it's just useless. Like
Yeah.
it's not that hard to make a photorealistic image. It's really hard to make a photorealistic image that conveys emotion and an actual expression of feeling. And it's much easier to do that, I think, with an art style. And when you have both of them at the same time, in this case, like it looks fantastic graphically, and then it's also a beautiful style, it just works well. And I'm also pumped about this.
I
I
think
feel the same as Luke, but he said it way better than I did, so
well, we can all
go
definitely
with it.
see what they're
I just talked
aiming
more.
for. What they're aiming for.
Yeah.
Aiming for.
A marvelous game.
Hey, Amy Hennig
You're welcome.
is making a Marvel game. And I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my god, the Amy Hennig?
I told my mom about this. That's exactly what she said.
The Amy Hennig? Maybe I'm sure a lot of people know, but there's a good chance because Amy Hennig's name does not carry the same weight as her successor, Neil Druckmann. Not even close, but she's very talented. From what I think we can all agree, that she knows what she's doing this one. But she's been given the reins to work on a new Marvel game. Well, I guess we'll kind of see how that goes. As someone was saying, it was going to be like a co-op type game, like based around a team like the X-Men or something. I don't know. This is just stuff I've heard.
But we'll see what it's like. I
cool.
mean, to play devil's advocate, I will just say, because we're doing these critiques of the Uncharted series. And so Amy Hennig, she's her most famous accreditation was that she was the main like lead director and creative director behind Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and she was on the team for the first half or so of Uncharted 4. Um, what I will say is after critiquing these games, most of my problems with them tied directly back to decisions she was making. Like she really loves the kind of kitschy action movie style of storytelling where things don't make necessarily logical sense, but they're fun and campy. And that's what Uncharted did really well in the first game and the second game, you know, Nazi zombies and like supernatural treasures and stuff. And you can see in like Uncharted 3, it feels like management was starting to butt heads with her and saying like, no, we want something a little more grounded and gritty and a little more mature. And she was resisting that, which is why the game doesn't make any sense at all. And Jacob helped me edit that video, so he knows full well.
It was like pulling
after
teeth, going through that bit by bit for the first time. I
Yeah.
don't know how you were able to pull that out, because I would have lost my mind. I would have just been like, look, it's not that good. But hey,
I'm like, no,
he went all out. Better check out that critique, everybody.
yeah. No, Jacob did a great job on it. It's just amazing because it's time and time again. There's like, okay, this doesn't make sense. And then this character should have died, but instead they just pass him off, yeah, and they disappear from the story, even though they don't appear again. And like, oh, this character is dead. Never explained how, even though it's implied it's supernatural. Like there's all this random stuff that wasn't pulled off very well. And Uncharted 4, she basically left the project because they had creative differences, which is all they've ever said publicly. But it's basically like in Jason Schreier's book on this, he describes some of the process and the discussions that went on based on interviews he conducted. And apparently it's just that she didn't want to go the route of darker, grittier, more realistic stories and gameplay. And she wanted to keep it lighthearted and kind of kitschy and campy. And they disagreed. And so she left and they put Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley in charge right after they finished work on The Last of Us. And then we got Uncharted 4 and then eventually The Last of Us Part 2. So I think Amy Hennig is obviously, she deserves a lot of credit and she's a very talented developer. But she also, I think, is responsible for a lot of the things people didn't like in those games. And also a lot of the good stuff, but a lot of the stuff that wasn't phenomenal. And she, I think, was the quintessential game developer for AAA games in 2009. Like that was her masterpiece, Uncharted 2. That's when her style of game design was at its prime and it worked great. But now, 12 years later, I'm not sure if her style works in the same way. But we'll see. I mean,
But
we'll
hey,
see.
that's the thing.
I'm happy.
Action, campy action, mindless explosions and fun. That's what Marvel is at this point. Just goofy, lighthearted, big explosions, fun. Every once in a while they screw that up. But I don't know. This seems like the perfect project for Amy Hennig. I was saying before, she would be perfect for a Marvel game or a Star Wars game because she just has that footprint. And from what I've seen, because I haven't dived too deep into the Uncharted games, I really like her stuff. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm excited to see how it turns out.
I agree. Like, if of anything she could be working on, this has the most potential to be just perfectly lined up. Because nobody's going to be like, no, the like Marvel game should have had more gore and more. Like, that's not what Marvel is at this point. So it just wouldn't make sense. So it seems to be a match made in heaven. Hopefully she gets to finish the project and they don't cancel it on her. But the fact that they've they're actually doing this and it's coming public, I think is a good sign. So
it's good stuff, Chris. We should also say it's going to be the first game from Skydance Media something or other. Skydance is I think they're distributors. I don't know exactly, but they're movie distributors, or producers. So we'll see. It's all lining up to have someone with this much experience coming in. Hopefully she'll be able to do it exactly her way. It all looks pretty solid so far. Fingers crossed.
Skydance is a production company.
There we go. Yeah, I don't think they were distributors.
Produced films like True Grit, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, Baywatch.
Oh,
hell yeah.
They produce garbage and Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah, well, the common thread is they're like kitschy, campy action movies.
Yeah. That's
and
perfect.
That's exactly what
That's
Amy
even
Hennig
more
likes to
perfect
do.
then. Yeah. And God, do I love those Mission Impossible movies. They're
so good.
They're really fun. Hey, and speaking of fun movies, you guys ever see that movie, A Quiet Place?
Oh,
yeah.
So Lachlan and I just watched it.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hoot. I feel like A Quiet Place would be a movie both of you would hate.
I really like it.
You do?
I actually really like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Well, good. That makes me happy. I was like, I wasn't 100% sure because it's kind of horror.
Definitely.
It's more thriller than horror.
Yeah, that's how I
like
tolerate
suspense thriller.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, but hey, what would you guys say if they were to make a video game set in this world?
Go ahead, Kimmy.
I'm on the fence because on one hand, I've been saying for ages that I want a like post-apocalyptic type video game where it's less guns, go out, shoot the people, fight, get all bloody, then go to your hideout and cry, and more like slow, stealthy. Okay, what if it was set in Britain? If it was?
Sounds like you want Death Stranding.
Yeah, but with a plot.
but with a plot, not a crazy person writing about babies and tubes.
Yeah. So A Quiet Place, I think, is a good fit for that. Like more stealth and survival in the sense of like, okay, find a hideout and you have to make it soundproof and you have to learn routes that are safe to take and stuff like that. Like that I find very interesting, but I am always cautious about a video game that is based on a film. It makes me nervous.
Yeah, I agree with Cammie. The only way I think that this works is if it's done in a way that's really like true to the spirit of the films. And what I mean by that is like using the microphone in the DualSense controller, and maybe they have like an accessibility mode where you can turn this off and back on. But what I would think would be really cool with this is actually taking it beyond just the constraints of a video game, but you actually add like if the microphone picks up audio and you're making sound, like if you cough, if you are talking, if you're screaming or anything, then you know the monster can hear you and come at you. Things like that I think are ways that this could stand out in a really unique way. Otherwise it'll be really easy for it to just fall into yet another like Back for Blood. It's just like another zombie game. Oh no, the like waves of zombies and enemies, which is the last thing a Quiet Place game needs. Because that would be my fear, that they're just using the movie's name to sell a game instead of using the themes of the film. Yeah, if they can use the themes of the film and what made the film so unique and different, I think that could be really cool. So we'll see. I don't think we've seen, we don't know enough about it to come to any conclusions as to whether or not this could be something really interesting, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Well,
next year,
I am gonna say right now something that you'll probably never hear me say again. But if they're gonna do this game, the best way to do this game would be to follow in the footsteps, I believe personally, with just how the Quiet Place world is set up. would be to do it in the same style as the studio who did Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures anthology games. Because then you can have your story, you can have your very realistic world, you can do all this stuff. I don't think A Quiet Place as a world, as this like built up thing, I don't think that works with most like styles of game. But I think that weird quick time eventy like interactive movie would be perfect for it. But we'll see. Because I think you just rely too much on action otherwise.
Yeah. And
Especially,
that's what I'm saying. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying. I don't want an action, pick up your gun, go through this horde of enemies.
That's true. We should mention as well, the guys working on it, Illogica, have worked on Rainbow Six and Far Cry. And then the publisher, Saber Interactive, it's that World War Z game. So all of this is red flags across the board. But that's why I'm like hopeful. I'm like, this is probably the best way for them to do it. Not only that, but those types of games are kind of easy to program. You can make it look really pretty and then just, send people through it. Make a perfect John Krasinski model. And there you go.
Well, that's the question. Is it in the universe or is it actually those characters?
I say it's in the universe, but they're going to have John Krasinski anyway just to sell copies.
I think they'll have to pay him for the rights to use his face, though.
No, he looks like every other white guy. You just put him in there.
Oh, just be like, put a white guy in there.
John Krasinski, Ron Krasinski, Tom Krasinski. It's all the same guy.
I mean, they said it's single-player, story-driven horror adventure. So there's no like open world or anything that like locks it out of being like a Telltale-y type thing. So it's possible.
What would you do?
You never know.
If they made the main character, they couldn't get Tom Krasinski, so they did do Ron Krasinski, and it looks exactly the same.
Tom Krasinski.
Would you?
They couldn't even get Tom Krasinski.
Because I was joking before, but John Krasinski looks exactly like Zachary Levi. Like, you guys know that like dynamic? What if they got Zachary Levi to play John Krasinski? Would that not be a mind fuck? Because I already get those two confused, and I love them both.
Zachary Levi is like a major gamer, so I could see that actually happening.
And hey, he was really good in Shazam. I really liked him in that.
He's a good voice actor because he's a
Flynn Rider,
Entangled, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's Flanagan Rider.
So he's done voice acting before, not quite the same, but still.
He just can't get my nose right.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch that movie. I remember liking that movie. But hey, so we gotta move into some sad news. It has to do with something Cammie cares very deeply about, but it's actually just a little bit of good news. Because
too bad.
Cammie, why don't you break this down for us?
Is that because you don't know how to pronounce his name?
Well, it's Shoji Meguro, I think. And the only so Shoji, the reason I should say this now because it's been bothering me since I read it. There's a musician, a fiddle player, I believe, called Shoji Tabuchi, and he's I don't know where he's from, what his deal is, but he has this show. I'll put it in general or something. Here's a picture of him. It's because he's a musician too, so I got him confused right away. But anyways, moving on. Just wanted to get that out there. That's been bothering me.
Yeah, he's the Persona series composer. He has been since the off, and if you play those games, you know that the music is incredible and a pretty big part of the reason why people are such a big fan of that series. And he has left Atlus. But like Jacob said, it's not all bad because he's left both to independent game development, so he could be making some of his own games, and as a freelance composer. So it's not like he's stopped making music, and you never know, for Persona 6 or whatever, Atlus might.
They could hire him. Yeah. But hey, Atlus, you're going to have some competition because right now, officially, the Press Start crew would like to... Do you just say the last name and then San? I want this to be really formal. Someone to put this on Twitter. Meguro-san. We would like you to compose us a new theme song for $1,000. Please get back to us with information. That would be so fucking awesome. Does anyone know any other persuasive tactics? manipulative
Jacob's willing to
tactics.
give you 3 back rubs and 1 free cuddle session.
I have your kids. You have 15 days.
I have a very particular lack of skills.
Yeah. I'll bake your cakes.
Well, we'll work it out.
But she's
Mr.
English,
Meguro.
so they're crumpets.
Not how it
And
works.
chips instead of fries. It's just total nonsense.
Please get back to us, Meguro-san. We will.
Yeah.
We will work this out.
You did the bow.
I did the bow. I'm trying to be polite. I don't know much about Japanese stuff.
Genuinely.
Oh.
You know when they do a Nintendo Direct, every
Yeah.
time they like click and bow, I do it back, and I didn't realize I did it until I was like writing the notes, and then I kept having
Oh
to
my
like lift
God.
my hand off the keyboard every time to do the click and every time to do the bow at them. I didn't notice. So there
It's
you go.
polite.
You're not
That's
the
what
only
you're
one.
supposed to do.
Fantastic.
Polite, it's nice.
How are we gonna
yeah.
get his business if we're not being 100% respectful, Luke?
You know what? You
Once
raised
again,
a very
Luke's
good
slipping
point.
up with stuff that has to do with Japan.
How dare he?
Oh
Once
fuck!
again.
Oh, we might have to.
Well, why don't we return to the topic?
Hey.
Return all. Return all.
It's getting the
Oh,
two
it's-
things every video game needs.
My landlord just returned to my front door, so I will go take care of that. You guys keep going. Yeah, if I don't make it back, I'll just come in for the outro. So
Oh,
we'll
okay,
be
cool,
back.
cool. Oh, well then, now that we're free of that, man, Returnal is getting an update.
Baby,
He's getting an update with photo mode.
it is.
Photo mode
more
is
important-
neat.
Yeah, it is. More importantly, you can suspend the cycle now.
Yeah, and that's probably what people actually care about.
Yeah.
So hopefully
I
that
saw
will.
a few people on Twitter being like, "Oh, that defeats the point of the game." I'm like, "Shut up,
Shut up.
shut up." It makes it easier for everyone. Who doesn't like?
Some people fucking suck at video games, and there's just nothing you can do. So you have to put something new in. When you buy a video game, you're buying the thrill of success.
Yeah.
So you deserve a win just for buying a video game. So there you go. Gonna smush that over a little bit. My monitor stand's getting all fucky. Anyways, there really isn't much more to say about Returnal.
Nah, it was
It's
just
a
a thing.
fine game, fine update. Well, we'll move on to one that I'm sure none of us have played yet. But hey, good review scores for Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game. A game we were all very skeptical about.
I think Luke and I were talking before you arrived. I'm sure he has started playing it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm literally trying to remember just what he said, but I'm pretty sure he said he was impressed, that it was pretty good, definitely better than he was expecting. I don't want to put words in his mouth, and I don't remember everything he said.
Go ahead.
but
What's he gonna do? Put a few words in his
What's he
mouth.
gonna do about
What's
it?
he gonna do?
Yeah, he said he liked it and he was happy with it, what he's played so far, and it was a good time. So
It really did seem like, because I think we talked about it on the stream when it got announced. It seemed like a very sound idea. It didn't seem like Square Enix, because I think it was Square Enix, was the company to pull that off, or whoever it was. But hey, good reviews so far. Of course, you have to deal with Marvel fanatics with some of these reviews, just like you would with any other game. So we'll see once we actually get into it. It's like it's very hard to say negative things about Marvel things these days without an army coming after you.
Yeah.
But hey, best case scenario, nothing bad to say about this game, and so I've liked what I've seen.
Yeah,
so
good
that's
things.
exciting. But hey, that brings us to our last piece. Something I needed to bring up.
something you added.
Something I added right before we came in.
Added.
I played a game.
Really?
I played an interactive movie. Wasn't really a game. An interactive movie called House of Ashes from the Dark Pictures Anthology. I hate the Dark Pictures Anthology. I think the first two games, Man of Medan and Little Hope, sucked. I think they were horrible. This new one, not that bad. It's like a 7. Nice. It was an enjoyable experience. It had a fun little story and a setup. And my quote I want them to put on the box, like the game box, when they do like a Dark Pictures Anthology Season 1, put this quote on there for me, Housemark. For a game set around 9/11, this game is no disaster. Put that right on the front of the box. I'll get people to buy it. But is it not Housemark? What did I say?
You said Housemark.
Oh no, that's not Housemark.
No.
Oh no!
How dare you?
Housemark.
It's because you were thinking House of Ashes.
I was. I'm a moron. They did Returnal, Housemark.
Yeah.
Oh no! Supermassive. Apologies, Supermassive Son. That's my bad. Whoops. I like your new game, Supermassive. I think people should give it a try, especially with Halloween coming around. This is the exact kind of game I wanted around Halloween because some people can't get into horror movies. But if you're interacting with it, you can get into it. And it's not that scary. It's definitely more spoopy than spooky, as I always say.
Yeah.
But I found myself really enjoying it. I was a fan for sure. So I recommend it. It's one of those games that I say usually sucks. This one was good. I enjoyed it. It's no masterpiece. It has a bunch of issues. And maybe we'll go into those later. But pretty good.
Okay. Good. Better than okay?
Yeah, it's like a 7 out of 10 for me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's like, I think it was worth the $30, which has never happened with one of those games.
Cool. Well, now we just have to fill in the time until Luke comes back.
Yep. I guess we can talk about Nintendo closed some of their offices recently. Nothing too crazy. I think it's just restructuring. I don't think anyone got laid off. Basically, they're just moving everyone to Redwood. And... oh, no. Am I wrong? Redwood City, California. Around. What am I thinking of? It's Redwood, isn't it? Redwood, Seattle?
How am I? I have got no idea.
That's fair. There's no reason you should know that.
No.
Oh, shit. I forget what it's called in Seattle. But that's like the... Redmond, Washington. God. Redmond, Seattle. Seattle's not a state. Sorry, I just read Console Wars. They talk about these places all the time. I feel like I should know. Redmond. They're moving people up to Redmond. I think it's just restructuring from the pandemic. Nothing too crazy. But it's neat enough. It's an odd thing for them to be doing. And speaking of odd things for Nintendo, apparently that N64 games on the Switch is horrible. I have not bought it yet.
I did.
I decided instead to go get a new N64 controller for my N64 because I have one. And I was like, I'll get this. I'll do that in like a month or so. And apparently that was the right decision because someone was saying there's like over 5-second input delay on some of the games, which is basically just saying it's unplayable. Nintendo released an unplayable mess, which does not happen often for Nintendo.
No.
So shape up, Nintendo. Good God. Those are some of the best games, like some of the most nostalgic games for people. And if you fuck that up, if someone's first impression to Ocarina of Time is horrible, that's on you, Nintendo, because you made a good game, and now you're just fucking it. But that was really sad to see, because I want people to play those games and have fun with them and be excited about them. And you can't do that if there's a 5-second input delay. I think it was Video Game Donkey. He was saying there's like 10 seconds input delay. And I was like, holy God.
That's not good.
That's horrible. That's more than unplayable. That's like embarrassing. Good God.
You want some good news?
Oh, yes, please.
The new Witcher trailer came out for the
did.
Netflix series. It did. And it looks awesome.
It does. I'm
so excited.
I'm excited for it. I am going to watch it. When does it come out? December?
December 17th.
Good, good, good. Just in time for the holidays. Get your friends a Netflix subscription this Christmas. Watch that. Watch
Merry
Inside Job.
Christmas.
Watch
Got
Seinfeld.
your Harry Cavill.
Oh, is Seinfeld on Netflix now? Yeah, Seinfeld's on Netflix.
Peaky Blinders.
Stranger Things. BoJack.
Stranger Things, BoJack, definitely. What else is on Netflix? We'll do a Netflix recommendation while we wait for Luke to come back.
I think we
Okay.
just did. I think that was a pretty good set of recommendations. Monster House is on there just in time for Halloween.
We can recommend more than that.
Should we though? Oh, do you want to talk about we'll talk about this and then we can probably wrap up the show if Luke's not back by the end. But there was a certain trailer that came out for a new movie called Lightyear. Did you see this trailer, Cammy?
I did not see this trailer.
Okay.
I've heard like loads of things about it. I just hadn't actually clicked on the trailer and watched it.
It is so goddamn weird. But it's exactly what I would have wanted as like a 6-year-old. It's so weird.
Why is it weird? Why do you find it weird?
Because they're taking Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story and they're like, what if we made him like the real guy that the toy is based on? And then you think about that from a Pixar perspective. It's like, okay, so this movie, hypothetically, is the movie that in Toy Story, the characters go to see that makes them want to buy the Buzz Lightyear action figure, which is already just a bit of a mind fuck. But it's also taking that character and doing something. It's like, I really like it as a concept. Taking a character, doing something new with them. I'm excited somewhat, but also it looks like Pixar's gotten very good lately. And it looks almost too real in some areas. It's just bizarre to look at. You have to watch this trailer, everybody. It's odd to look at, but I'm like kind of excited for it. It's very strange.
Strange but good.
Strange things are happening to me. That's from Toy Story. He goes, strange things. Strange. I guess this is where we end the episode. Strange things. End the episode. Say goodbye. Strange things are happening to me. You got a friend in me.
I'm not going.
Hopefully by Tuesday my voice will be back to normal. Bye-bye, everybody. Sorry Luke and Lachlan couldn't say goodbye, but I'm sure they're having a great time with their landlord.
Yeah. Hanging out.
Hanging out,
Having
chilling.
a fun time. Yeah.
We'll see. Oh, happy Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Halloween,
Boo.
everybody. Boo!